with the words, but I'll give it a go.
Comes with practice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you've been doing a good job interacting with people, man.
Yeah, I'm passing out the flyers.
All right, we must be live because Charm One's already in there saying beautiful day, and indeed it is. Again, we're in sunny California. This is the Santa Monica Pier. A lot of tourists, a lot of locals. Good place to be on a beautiful day like today. And our truth seeker friends are reuniting with us out here. And gentleman in the orange said Russian Vids should be out here. Hey, Russian Vids, if you're watching, man, I heard you are in SoCal. I don't know if that's true, but hey, bring out the follow, man. Come out to Hollywood tonight with us. Say, hey, let's go gather at Hollywood. Let's not be afraid of things. Let's speak truth to power. Let's change the world. Anyway, we got another man here. He says we got to look into some truth seeker farmers that are putting out the good word. And you want to tell us more about that before we get into it out here?
Yeah, where's the mic right here?
Yeah, oh, they'll hear you just fine.
Me, myself, I've been listening to your work, but recently I've been learning how to grow food, you know, how to have your own chickens, you know, just a better lifestyle. And there's farmers out there that are actually speaking out, same things that Zach is talking about, just another perspective, you know. There's a guy, his name is Curtis Stone. I want Zach to check him out. I want all you truth seekers to check out Curtis Stone. His channel is called Curtis Stone Off Grid, something like that, but he'll pop up. He's located in Canada, and he just shows you how to be self-sufficient, how to grow your own food.
Real knowledge that we should all have. Could be life-saving.
Yeah, the guy's got his own energy, he's got his own well. It's just one of those things that we all need to learn, like how to be healthier, how to get stronger, how to grow your own food. It's just a big piece of the puzzle that I want. You know, that's why I came out here to talk about that and get that.
What's up, man?
Going.
Good to see what you do.
Oh, what are we out here, bro?
Yeah.
Just to share knowledge and information, talk about a lot of things. For example,
Thank you.
remember who died 7 years ago today?
No.
Famous musician. When doves cry, I would die for you. Prince?
Oh, yeah.
Prince died on the Queen's birthday, right? Have you ever heard a song, I Would Die For You?
Yeah.
Famous song. It was on Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Just before Prince died, you remember who died the day of the Grammys?
No.
Just out of nowhere. Vanity, his girlfriend from the time of Purple Rain.
Oh, right, okay.
So weird thing is, the day that Prince died, the same day that Prince died, they lit up Niagara Falls purple rain, you know.
For him.
Vanity, well, they said it was actually for the Queen. They said it wasn't for him. Because they were like, how did they do that so fast? He just died and you already got that up? But people didn't notice that Vanity, she's from Niagara Falls. She was a beauty queen there, right?
Right.
So how weird. But here's the thing. His song, I Would Die For You, it came out, he wrote it in 83. Purple Rain was released in 84. But he spelled it like a futuristic way. He spelled it with the number 4 and the letter U, kind of like how you're sending a text message, right?
Yeah.
People weren't talking like that back in 83, but he had number 4, letter U. So, did you know that ancient alphabets, like Hebrew, ancient Greek, Latin, every letter is also a number?
Yeah.
It's the same with
It's
English.
like the Twin Towers, isn't it? If the Twin Towers, isn't that something like that?
I'll tell you something about the Twin Towers. U is the 21st letter. So if you look at his song that way, I would die 421. That's what they died, 421. And then the thing with Vanity, right? This guy over here's got the Kobe jersey on number 24. The day Kobe died was the day of the Grammys. You know who got their 24th Grammy that day? Beyonce. And the Bugaboo music video with Beyonce and Destiny's Child. You go back and see what day that came out. Kobe Bryant's in the video. It came out the day he ended up dying. All these years later. He died on the anniversary of Bear Bryant, the football coach.
It's too much shit.
Look at this. Here's how much weirder it gets. Kobe Bryant died at age 41, right? He was traveling from Catholic Mass to Gigi's basketball game, okay?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
He died on the Pope's 41st day of his age, at age 41. LeBron goes on to win the finals on Father-Daughter Day. That's on the calendar. It's a small holiday. The Lakers won the finals on Father-Daughter Day after Kobe and Gianna died, exactly 41 weeks after LeBron's birthday. LeBron, King James, won it with the Cavs on the real King Charles's birthday, June 19th. The son of King James was King Charles.
Who figures all this shit out?
People looking into it like yours truly. I've been writing books about this. I've been looking into this since 9/11 happened. 9/11 woke me up. So since you asked about 9/11, well, here's what I educate about is this word gematria. Practice going numbers into words. There's the alphabetic order, A's 1 up to Z is 26, choosing the alphabetic order, B's 2, C's 3, D's 4. And then there's the alphabetic order with numerology, just making each letter a single digit number. So like when you get to Z, instead of being 26, it's 2 plus 6 is 8. If you're out the name Kobe Bryant, it equals 41. The game, his last career game where he dropped 60, the rest of his team scored a total of 41 points. His career high game where he scored 81 points, the rest of his team scored 41 points. He put out a Kobe Bryant after death shoe 2 years before he died on the day leaving 41 days left in the air. I wrote a book in 2017, one of the chapters about rig sports, and a big section on Kobe and Jordan. And I talk about how Kobe's whole career was defined by the number 41. That came out 3 years before Kobe died at 41. And like I said, all roads lead to Rome in the book. It all goes back to the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. So, September 11th, suggest about that. I was 18 years old when it happened, a freshman in college. I was going to school at Arizona State University, and everyone thought I was crazy for questioning it, but it bothered me. So I did a lot of research because I was like determined to prove to everybody that something was up. So I started looking into it, and my mind was blown. Tell me if you knew this. In 1968, 911 was made the National Emergency Dialing Code. World Trade Center construction began in New York. George W. Bush, who was the president at the time, he graduated from Yale Skull and Bones, powerful secret society. Paul Walker had just come out with the movie The Skulls about Skull and Bones. He gets a red Porsche in that movie. Remember how he died in a weird way in a red Porsche? He died 5 years to the day of George H.W. Bush dying on the same day. 11 plus 30, 41. That's the day that Paul Walker died and George H.W. Bush, who was number 41. Skull and Bones also equals 41. Special number 41. It goes beyond Kobe. Secret society number. If you go to Yale, the zip code there ends 41, and the campus says there's 41 secret societies on campus. The most famous is Skull and Bones. So 41 is a special number. It's another topic. But all this stuff went into motion in 1968. Again, World Trade Center construction, 911, George W. Bush. The movie 2001: A Space Odyssey came out about technology overtaking man. The New York Jets had their only Super Bowl winning season. Kind of like after 9/11, we had the Patriot Act in this country, and the Patriots became the greatest football team ever. Kind of like after Katrina in New Orleans, the Saints win their first Super Bowl. A lot of stuff like that with sports. But here's what else happened in 1968. Fentanyl was approved by the FDA that year, and coronavirus was coined. And in the 21st century, man, the biggest detriments in this country have been coronavirus, fentanyl, 911. These are like the killers, right? So think about this, though. What did America really do after 9/11? We sent our young people over to Afghanistan. We killed the Taliban. Do you know what we did in Afghanistan after we killed the Taliban? The Taliban wanted to stop the opioid crisis in their country and other regions because they've always been the poppy producer of the world. Like the Greeks controlled Afghanistan. This is an ancient thing, controlling that land because of all the pop. Drugs control people, man. Drugs are money. They always have been. Empires rule with things like this. But we went over there and we killed the Taliban. We brought back all the poppy production. And then look what happens in the world. Next thing you know, there's an opioid crisis. All these things go back to the same year, 68. MLK was killed in 68, so was Bobby Kennedy. People don't get this about MLK. He was killed on April 4th. April 4th. He assumed the name Martin Luther after the Protestant Reformation leader who led the Reformation against the Catholic Church, but he was a Catholic priest before he led the Reformation. Martin Luther became a Catholic priest in history on April 4th. MLK ends up getting killed on April 4th, a year to the day of speaking out against the military. It was a leap year, 1968, so MLK got killed on the 95th day of 1968. Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses to lead the Protestant Reformation. So anyway, I can go on and on. I got books this big about all this stuff, but what I educate about is how all roads really do lead to Rome. People have forgotten history. They forgot what happened in the 16th century, what people are trying to escape. The tyranny of the Catholic Church in the 16th century and how it really came over here. That's why the Roman architecture's everywhere. Jesuits, as far as you can see, from Gavin Newsom. Are you living in California?
No, from Wales, UK.
I heard the accent, but I was wondering if you were now living here. Okay. Do you know? You know what? Here, Boris Johnson. When Boris Johnson announced the UK strain, he said it was 56% more infectious. Okay.
Yeah.
When Gavin Newsom became the first governor to lock down a state in America, right here in California, he said this is exactly what he said. He said, "I have to lock down the state because if I don't, 56% of California will get coronavirus in 8 weeks. How many days is 8 weeks? 56 days. He said 56% in 56 days. So in Gematria, Gavin Newsom equals 56. He's a Jesuit. The formal title of the Jesuits, Society of Jesus, is 56. Anthony Fauci, who's been the face of it over here, Jesuit educated. Anthony Fauci, 56. Donald Trump, who's Jesuit educated. His Jesuit education began at Fordham 56 years before 2020, the year of the pandemic. Right now they're talking about that lab leak theory in Wuhan, China. That lab was built in 1956 by a research institute out of Paris, France. Paris, France equals 56. That's the original home of the Jesuits, where Ignatius Loyola, their founder, died in 1556. And they've done so many rituals with these same numbers throughout history, but they speak in numbers. They operate slowly and systematically, and they bring about problems, and then they come with their solutions, which usually ends up in like just normal people losing rights and liberties and quality of life, while certain people gain. Like, for example, in COVID, who gained in this country? Well, like Amazon and Walmart got way more market share because a lot of mom and pops were put out. Jeff Bezos turned 56 that year. You know the Da Vinci Code series? Yeah. About the Illuminati and the Catholic Church? The Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. And what's funny is the author of that book turned 56 in 2020. There's so much with the... I could talk your ear off about it, man, but that's what you care about. Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming out. Did you want to say anything on camera?
No, it's all right.
But hey, thanks for interacting with us. We're here for people like you, man.
Take care.
Have a great time in America. Shout out to the man from Wales. He just came up and he said, yo, what's going on? He just wondered what the gathering is. Should we try the loudspeaker? Does anyone want to take over the camera? I might need to do a throat lozenge. Need the throat treatment first. All right. If you want to narrate for a little bit, I'm going to do one more voice treatment. Our interview soon. Yeah. You guys want to say anything to the chat?
I mean, not Venice anymore, Santa Monica. Samo, pull up.
Yeah. What do you guys think about, you think Andrew Tate's a psyop or is he legit?
Only time will tell.
True.
I don't know the man, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I like what he stands for, though.
I like it, yeah.
Speaking real, part of you has something real, but there is controlled opposition always.
I believe that.
There's a reason why things get positioned where they get positioned, right?
There's a reason, like, how can you have so much exposure, you know what I'm saying? In the mainstream. He's got to be I mean, he's saying so much good shit, but it's like...
That was CIA.
Yeah. One big old chess game. You guys ever dabbled in growing food, vegetables, or farming life?
I do.
Yeah? Growing your own weed, for example?
I did that before.
Yeah.
That's what
I've been doing that, just small batches here and there. That's fun.
Personal.
Yeah, personal.
Definitely, I advise everybody to grow their own food if they can.
Yeah.
Statute of limitation on the weed stuff is already passed. I know we was around the weed time, but we was in trouble before BC.
But what about the growing food though? What else? What have you grown, or have you started your own garden?
Squash, stuff that gets hardy, potatoes.
Yeah.
Strawberries, I gotta restart those.
They come back every year or what?
Some years.
Okay.
We're growing tomatoes in our garden right now.
Jackson, man. Brandon.
Well, they were booming last year. But this year, they just a bunch of seeds just came up out of nowhere.
That's what's up.
So now we got like
YV put me on the YouTube, like when it's saying
Mother Nature, man. Mother Nature's beautiful.
I got a song called Back to Nature.
I love it. I love that kind of music. I'd love to. Yeah. There's this guy, he raps about, or he's an artist, he talks about, you know, a good message. And you see how music out in the mainstream is all negative. It's like, none of it is like, why?
It was all psyops. It was all, you know.
But the music that provides a good message, you never hear about it. This guy, his name is Rising Sun. We would never find him because he's buried in the algorithm.
Me too, YVK. They do that shit to me, bro.
Yeah.
I promise you. I go by YVK, y'all. Check me out. Good music. But look, so when I started YVK, it was only one other YVK. Now, if you look at YVK, I promise you, it was like 12. And I started doing music like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And they fucking put out bullshit. It's like, what? Some people just put out dumbass tracks, half instrumentals, half like dumb shit. And I'm like, it's hard to find me. People be like, I cannot find you on us.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. Yeah, it's I did that again.
It's hard bullshit, but I don't care about the lyrics. I just listen to the beat.
Right. That's all it is nowadays. Just the beat, nice beat. They'll listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's deep.
Shit is deep. Just gotta sit there and I don't know.
What you do though, like free time and shit? Any hobbies, purposes in life that you like to do?
Yeah, I'm doing the whole garden thing.
Oh, nice.
I got chickens.
Okay.
I live in a tiny house, so I don't pay any rent pretty much.
Sick.
So I haven't had a job like in 10 years.
Sick.
But I do a bunch of side hustles. But just trying to get closer to nature.
That's what it's about, bro. Yeah, you gotta hear that song, I mean.
Turn off the TV, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, turn off the TV. They don't want to.
That was our connection source.
Yeah.
Like, even putting rubber, they put rubber on our shoes because it's been proven that if you're, grounding in the ground with nature, it heals you.
My goal is to wake up every morning, walk barefooted, naked, let the sun hit me. Every single morning, but it's so hard because you have so many neighbors around you.
That's why they made everything fucking boxed in.
Yeah.
When we got all this land.
We got all this land, I can't even walk naked out of my goddamn house.
That's why a lot of people fucking left and fucking moved to fucking Alabama and shit to get land.
Montana and all that.
Idaho and shit.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then at the same time, so many people from the east moved over here.
Right.
They just keep people moving. I guess there's something to that. You lose some roots, you move, you lose a lot of roots. That's what a lot of people keep doing. You got anything to say? You want to be on camera? All right. All right. You guys got any cool stories?
How are you like my camera duty?
Just chill. It helps when the weed helps a little bit with anxiety. We all got anxiety.
Hell yeah. I brought this out. If you want
Oh,
to.
snaps. You want to try this?
You have a pink lighter? Are you serious, bro?
You want to be on camera, Francisco?
So, like, I know it's fine, but
I'm trying to get started with this whole thing. I'll probably start educating people.
Yeah.
What do you think about the vibe so far?
Thanks. Tasty.
people are waking up, like, even, like, between the events, like, where just people are asking about the calendar and shit. I hate these black folks with the 42. Shit, the 42 ain't on there, but I was just explaining the black folks about the 42, but I was showing them the kill dates that we already got labeled. We got the kill dates on the black ones are the kill dates.
Oh shit.
The blues are the weather. And it's just numerology. It's just the numerology. It doesn't mean, it's not counting for the ones that die 44 days later and stuff. Just the numerology. But look, Bob Lee, 44-day numerology, orange.
This is all the shit that happens every single month?
Yep,
Undeniable
month.
stuff, right?
Yep, all annually.
Wow.
And there's so many variations.
They're like holidays, secret holidays pretty much, huh?
Yep, all the occult holidays. You got the satanic. You got, I'm considering the establishment date of HARP a occult holiday because they be doing rituals on that day, and they establish the main thing that's creating all the rituals, HARP.
Yeah.
So.
You got anything to do with the moon in this calendar?
No, see, that's the thing, man. Like, there's only so much I could put on one thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's only. It probably fit on the actual calendar.
You think you could do a whole nother one just for the moon?
Yep, I have a whole other variations that I haven't printed.
Wow.
I have other variations that I haven't printed, so, but I just brought this one out because it was the most completed, that's it.
You could be by everybody. Oh, you got my lighter, bro.
What happened to every young boy? He was really good when he was independent. When you just got to sing.
We're gonna always stop people after
You guys got a good topic here or what?
Just talking about life, man. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
True secret conversation. How is it mingling with people?
What was that?
Are we having good conversations over here?
Yeah, we are.
I see another gentleman came out.
Yes, sir.
Is
Yep.
he one of us, or did he have questions?
Oh, my bad. You want me to turn it down?
No, that's all good. I just said I realized somebody new's here.
Yeah, that's his buddy.
Yeah, what's up, man? Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. They should keep me on.
Yeah, I put him on. Thank you for
He's out here. Open-minded though, but they include me
Yeah.
on. I was like, oh, okay.
Good to have somebody you can talk to, connect, persuade.
And then I was telling him, something on the pandemic, you did like a debate with Young Pharaoh.
No, we didn't have a debate.
They didn't get to have a debate.
Right,
Yeah, you wanted
that's
to.
what it was.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you're just, the fact that you're willing to debate your thoughts.
Nobody will debate me. That's what bothers
But
me.
that's the problem. If you aren't willing to debate, then how can you ever battle ideas, right?
Exactly.
So,
They're not even real people.
it's probably exactly it.
Yeah.
I saw young Pharaoh end up getting a real nice house, though, man. So whatever he was doing online was working.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah, he's not the same either, though.
Yeah,
I was watching this
something
new.
went weird there.
Yeah,
Something went weird,
it's something going on.
For sure.
And that was shortly after he got the house. I feel like maybe he signed on the wrong line, started to notice something.
Who knows? Who knows? I remember that was like early pandemic time or whatever.
Probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2
Time
years ago.
flies. It's hard to say. I lose track of time.
Yeah.
All becomes a mirage.
What made you want to come down to LA?
I should have come down here
Years
after
ago.
Kobe died.
Right.
That's why in hindsight I was like, I should have gotten in the car when Kobe died.
I thought you was too.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, it's hard, man. It's hard. It was hard to get here, coming through the mountains. I couldn't believe it. I had to go through the craziest. I had to drive 25 miles per hour to 65 zone for an hour and a
you
half.
went through Oregon
and I had to wait
and
for
all
these
that.
two big semis to come. I had to follow them. It was not a fun drive, man. And I was sliding around. I could not believe the way snow was coming out.
Wow.
That's the thing, because I mean, you got to go through the mountains to get from where I am to here. And when it's dumping like that, I don't have the right car for it.
Oh, gotcha.
But I made it. I'm just gonna take I-5 back. I-5 is a lot safer route.
Yeah,
97,
definitely.
97 was too mountainous.
You're out in the east side of Washington.
Right, so I took 97. It's a lot shorter route, but I-5 is a lot.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Safer.
take several extra 100 miles than not deal with that again. So.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
shortcut.
drive for a living, so I know what
Yeah.
But no, in hindsight, man, I should have got down here right after Kobe died. Should have been here because
that's when your shit too, like, well, you always been going up, and then they delete you and shit, of course. But
no, I'm not always going. I feel like I'm always going down.
yeah, I don't know what's up with the algorithm now.
lower.
Yeah.
But I remember I followed you a long time ago before, and your shit was moving, like.
2016, 2017, a lot of growth, and I felt like we're gonna change the world.
Yeah.
And now lately, I'm like, man.
Yeah, George
I feel like I'm glad that people found it back then because I don't know if we can find any new people.
George Bush, that video he put his death with the dad. That was the last big one, right?
That was the last time I got 1 million views. I only got 1 million views 2 times, but I got 1 million views on that video. And then I only got 100. The best video for Kobe got a little more than 100,000 views. I mean, I used to be able to get that a lot with a lot of different things. I mean, if it was in a better period, that Kobe video would have definitely hit the million. And unless it did, and they just changed it in the algorithm, but I don't feel like it did because here's the thing. The most money I ever made in a day was the Bush video, and I saw how much money you could. I was like, wow. That's why some people are just like mega millionaires and being
Okay.
online.
Yeah, because it's million view.
I think that Bush video honestly got more than 1 million views. It was before they banned my ebook on Etsy. Sweet Lady was like, maybe this is worth it because I made like I forget what it was. I lost track of time, but easily way over $5,000 in one day. Just ding, 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 non-stop sales of the ebook. It just wouldn't stop. I just had to go hide the phone, turn off the sound, and not even look at it because it was non-stop.
Wow.
So I'm like, wow, this is what happens when people see your work.
Right.
Because I mean, I probably had close a huge percentage of my total book sales came within that 24-hour. But then they shut down that video, and then it was off. But I saw how good it could be while it was getting out there, and I was like, this is why some of these people online who actually get exposure every day, they're just raking it every day. So that only happened one time, but I got a taste of how it could be if people are allowed to see you. So when Kobe died, like I sold $20 books that day. So that's what I mean. It's not the same. You know what I mean?
You would think Kobe.
Have you thought of a way to get more exposure at all? Is there
There's
even
a way. There's got to be a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? I have to get smarter. I have to get more entertaining. I have to figure out how to use other platforms better. When I'm out here, it's like I said.
What about that Rumble platform?
Well, so far I haven't had any luck on there. I just pick it because it takes time to upload everywhere. And then when it's like, okay, I uploaded 10 videos to Rumble and I got a total of 10 views. So,
Everybody's on YouTube, right?
so it's just like
But maybe the mistake was after getting frustrated and stopped uploading because I only got 10 views on the first time. Maybe I should just keep posting.
Stay consistency. Yeah, consistency.
But God, it's just like it takes.
Yeah,
I know,
It's
it's a lot of shit.
There's so many outlets you gotta do.
Here, wait for this upload, and it's like I'm already sitting in front of the computer too much.
Yeah,
each day,
doing
so-
decoding shit. Yeah.
But there's a better way to do it. That's why I always say, I know someday, it probably isn't happening. Someday the person's gonna find my work who's more entertaining and just like get out here and really engage people and rhyme it or rap it or speak it poetically, different voice tone, looks, whatever it has to be. Because I mean, people will listen to me. They also just want another weirdo guy yelling on the loudspeaker, and it's sad it's that way, but. I know that someday somebody will get the message and figure out how to take it to the next level. At least that's the way I've been thinking.
I think we just gotta simplify it a little more.
Just stay Kobe 41. Don't
Yes.
go past it.
Or don't even say any numbers at all. Don't even say any numbers because these people don't even know anything about numbers.
True.
These are
How
regular.
would you talk about maybe just Kobe? Well, but I think you gotta talk about the 41, right?
But this is entry level. Yeah, eventually you do talk about numbers. Once you follow your channel, you talk about numbers. But when you're out here, people don't have no idea about numbers. They see numbers and they don't even think anything about it. They don't even know what that 6-6 means over there. It's everywhere.
Really start maybe with just a question of like, don't you guys think it's weird that LeBron passed Kobe in points scored?
And Kobe dies the next day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Simple like that.
Yep.
That's super simple, and it's like,
Then I think
whoa.
you can hit them with the 41 thing. Because I know if I talk to people with one number, they really get it. A lot of times when I have a conversation with a stranger, they'll really be following with one number. A lot of times they get into the second number. That's when I say like a little body change.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Pick up some vegetables.
It's because it's too much.
The second number's too much.
It's too numbers in general is too much.
With Kobe, I wish people could handle that second number because Kobe Bryant's also 157 died on the 157th day. They have 41. There's a lot of 157s there, but
Yeah. It makes sense to somebody who's half awake. But if some people are totally asleep, it makes zero sense, Zach. I'm telling you.
Yeah, like speaking a foreign language.
Foreign language.
Yeah.
So you gotta like simplify it to these people, because these people are fully asleep. All these people are fully
maybe
asleep.
just talking about, is anyone concerned about where this country's going? Anyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Basic topics
Yes,
like that.
Basic topics.
Anyone concerned about?
You want to figure out the truth? Come over here.
3 things that people are most concerned about right now. What would you say they are?
Our fucking food is all poisoned. We can talk about that.
GMOs.
No. The thing is, he's asking, what are people most concerned about right now? Like, what are they even concerned about, right? Like, what are
I'm
they?
concerned about my gut health.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bud Light. Right now, Bud Light.
Oh, I see.
Jimmy Renner, that's one. You know,
Tell me what
about-
Jimmy Renner is. I'm missing that one.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that
He
is.
was hospitalized, and now they just
Oh,
keep
people still care about that story? I didn't ignore that one. It's like, who even cares about this guy?
because he has something new out on television now.
I
So
see.
It's always a big
Always to hype the show. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
Who was that we said? He's coming out. Oh, it was E40 when I kicked out the game. And
Oh,
then
when
he
E40
came out with an
got kicked
album.
out?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why it's like this
E40
big
got
thing,
kicked
yeah.
out of the Sacramento game.
Yeah. And then he's dropping an
He's a
album.
Warriors
or whatever.
fan, rapper, you know
And,
E40. Yeah.
Was it the one here?
The one, no, it's Sacramento, the Kings.
Oh, the one in Sacramento.
first
Yeah.
Oh, just extra for the Kings fans.
Yeah, right.
Get out of here,
And then
yo.
he's dropping an album though. He's dropping like.
Just like how he was synced up with Super Bowl 54 and it didn't look good for the Niners.
Yep.
Yeah, what else can we talk about? Simple shit. Like
Well, that's the thing is like people are, they're more focused on, it's kind of like, when they were at that bachelorette party in Vegas, Carlton, but he was more focused on, oh man, we're financially behind, that's why we can't step ahead or whatever it may be, when that's like so much more than,
yeah,
whether you have money or you don't have money.
we're all stuck in the rat race. Like we can't even pay our goddamn bills because it's so
Because
expensive.
that's what he was focused on. He was like, Jackson, I can't believe you think that way. But I was like, I don't give a shit about that. But he's more regular than me, so he's thinking more of like, oh.
Maybe we should talk about that, how unaffordable everything is.
Yeah,
How expensive LA
Why was it
is.
so much easier for people decades ago, like you were just saying.
Right.
exactly. How come we can't buy a goddamn
Let's
house?
talk about something still and see what happens. Switch it up.
I don't have to say that.
Did somebody bring bottle of water? Don't worry about it. No, I'm good. No, not yours. I'll be good, man.
Some moonshine, Zach. Nah, it's not.
No.
It's
Thank
water.
you.
It's water.
just waiting until we're in the clear and we have to. Just take my word, man. can't skate.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Johnny on the
I got
spot again.
I got snacks right here too, man.
No, you gave me one already. I'm good. I rarely eat very much when I'm out.
No, I feel you. Just trying to keep that sugar going, you know, that natural sugar. Energy. What was the name again?
Raphael.
Raphael.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah.
What else should we talk about?
Which one?
What you like to talk about? Like some simple facts that we could like wake up people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I even didn't pay attention because I was having conversation with others.
Yeah. I think I don't even know what he's gonna talk about, but he's gonna take a break from the numbers and see how it goes. It's because we're talking to zombies here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I noticed a lot of people are really sacrifice. They are towards just find their own business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, round 2.
Oh, by the way, does anybody else want to go on the mic before me? The mic on.
One day, Zach. Maybe in August. August. I'm just warming up today. Or
Hey, by the way, I just have a feeling out there, man. Corey in Oklahoma City, man. I'm sorry I wasn't out there this year. Corey really wanted me to come out to OKC. But I will be back, Corey. I will never forget Corey, man. He's a really cool dude. I just wish more people in Oklahoma City actually talked to us. Like, I didn't see this many people in 5 days in Oklahoma City. Seriously.
yeah. Yes. Yeah, we seen the stream. It was nuts. Nobody was there.
LA, New York.
Yeah, LA and New York.
Right in Florida. If you could get out there, South Beach.
I like South Beach. I might be distracted.
Same.
You will be too distracted, but it's like out here, but just humid. You know, it's kind of like
More tropical, huh?
more tropical, yeah. More tropical.
All the young single men out there, man. South Beach is a good place to be.
You gotta have game though. Money?
You just have a boat.
Not all of us have boats. For the average guys,
Yeah,
go rent a Ferrari.
there you go.
Good people of California, it's a beautiful day.
Hit the like
Good to not
button.
have to wear masks. It's good to not be on lockdown. Taking orders from governors like Gavin Newsom. Again, you guys, we gotta pay attention to what's going on in this country. Why are things really getting so expensive? Why we got so much money for Ukraine, but we don't have money for communities right here that need help? How many communities worldwide do we help while we let our own communities go neglected right here in this nation?
Yes, sir. Take the mic. No, we like it. We like it.
This is all set up.
You know how the Masonic Temple in D.C., the house of the temple has 33 columns that are each 33 feet tall? You know that? You know?
The 33 Mason is the highest point a Mason can get.
In the Scottish Rite. You know why 33 is important to them?
No.
It's us, humans, because we have 33 bones in our vertebrae. They study Kundalini, which is about spiritual ascension up to 33 bones, like how to reach enlightenment. So check this out. They're into something called Kabbalah. Kabbalah has a book called the Book of Formation. The opening page, the opening paragraph says, God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. These people are playing God over our life using this code. So in English, this goes back to Babylon. So many alphabets are numeric sequences. English is too. All of these words equal 33. Masonry, secrecy, order, federal, false flag, 9/11. That came 33 years. That happened in 2001, 33 years after World Trade Center construction began in New York, 1968. 1948, the same year 911 was made, the national emergency down the road. The shooting in Nashville, or not, let's go actually Louisville. We'll do multiple. Louisville, this is the shooting that happened at building 333 in District 33, exactly 33 weeks after the mayor's birthday. And then there were 3 national shootings in Louisville, all in the same week within days of each other. 2 weeks after Nashville, where they told us it happened at building 33, 3 adults and 3 children killed, and they even said the story that 33 teachers weren't there. About a year ago, we had the Underground Railroad shooting in New York, blamed on an older black man on the start of the anniversary of the start of the American Civil War. Underground Railroad, like slavery. They said he fired 33 shots. They're doing this shit all the time, man. You're right, though. But here, I'm gonna tell you who it actually is. You're right about Freemasonry, but there's something above Freemasonry. Do you know what created modern Freemasonry? The Jesuit Order. You know who they are? They're the military order of the Catholic Church. Now think about this logically. Masons used to be builders, right? Who has the nicest buildings in most towns?
Catholic Church. Yes, sir. They got all the money,
That's why
dude.
we're on a calendar that's named after a pope. In Gematria, pope equals stuff like that calendar. But yeah, man, that's what we educate about. So, Mason's a big part of it, but it's really the Jesuits.
They rig all the games, dude.
In Rome, the international headquarters of the Jesuits is directly across the street from the international headquarters of World Freemasonry. Right across the street from each other. Pope Francis, first Jesuit Pope, but does the Masonic hidden hand pose.
Yeah. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
Will Smith, when he got his Oscar or his Grammy, whatever he got, he was like this. Dude, I wanna give a thank you to everyone.
Here,
Damn.
watch this. Parallels between Will Smith and Kobe Bryant. Tell me about it.
Hometown.
Yep, LA, man. Come to LA. You're a young guy. Prince, you know, he got in trouble in Philly, had to go up to LA, right? Kobe's from Philly, went to LA. Remember, LeBron passed Kobe in points scored in Kobe's hometown the day before Kobe died. This year, the Chiefs' greatest quarterback ever dies on Kobe Bryant Day before the season starts. You end up getting Kansas City versus Philly for the Super Bowl, right? Oh, shit. So look at this with Kobe. Remember Kobe died at age 41? Remember he was traveling from Catholic Mass to GG's basketball game? In 2017, I wrote a book about Kobe Bryant at 41, okay, and the Jesuits and Masonry. But Kobe's whole career is 41. So when Kobe died at 41, he died on the Pope's 41st day of his age. And then LeBron won the finals on Father-Daughter Day, exactly 41 weeks after his birthday. In Gematria, Kobe Bryant equals 41. So does Golden State. And his dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, was drafted by Golden State 41 years before he retired. Kobe's last bucket against Utah was he was guarded by number 41. Damn.
Woo! We just got shot. Pra, pra. But that's how they communicate. They communicate with the numbers.
I would stay here. I'd talk all day.
You're welcome. I'll tell you something though. When Kobe scored 81, the rest of his team scored 41. In his last game where he scored 60, the rest of his team scored 41. His whole career is 41. He put out the Kobe after death shoot on the day leaving 41 days left here, 2 years before he died in the big 41 ritual. So I'm not even sure he's really gone. He might not be gone.
Everything's planned.
The lady.
Like your shades right there. Make sure we're all fine. But like you can just tell like their intentions.
Ask him about 74.
In favor of controlling us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a numbers man.
He's asking
big
about
numbers, man.
74.
Like if it was stuff wouldn't be the way it is right now. It's just like common sense. Anyone can see like there's a lot of problems out there that are.
Can I record your shirt?
She wants to know about 74. He wants to ask the numbers, man.
But everything happens for a reason. Everything happens. Like, they have nothing to do, but that's why they live their heaven on earth. Because they know that the way they're acting
I see that. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
and that's why they're so hung up on whatever they are materialistically, because they just this is all they got. This is all they got. This is the only thing they can hold on to.
They like control. They're control freaks. They like controlling humanity, manipulating behavior, manipulating people's energy. You know the kids' cartoon movie Monsters Inc.? You know that movie came out right after 9/11? Right after September 11th happened? It came out just like, forget, when did that movie come out? November? Right after 9/11 it came out. If you go back and watch that movie, the scene where all the monsters come out, there's a big clock right behind them, and the time is 9/11. That movie's all about harvesting pure energy. Share it in the chat. Have a good one, man.
Hey, we'll be back in August. Follow the channel and meet us up when we come back in August.
Yes, sir. Zach, she's got a question over here.
Yeah.
74.
74, my favorite number. You want to know what's interesting about 74?
Yeah.
Are you not from America, are you? Did you know that do you know what day our nation's birthday is? July 4th, 7-4, right? Did you know that 3 of the first... I don't want to say something that's too dark and scary for your children. Yeah. You know what? Here,
Educate them.
let me restart. I don't want to say anything. Okay. Funny enough, 3 of the first 5 U.S. presidents died on the nation's birthday, 74, okay? Very special number.
So they have to know.
Are you aware that the biblical language is Hebrew and ancient Greek? Every letter is a number. In Hebrew, it's Gematria, and in Greek, it's isopsephy. They're the same thing. Roman numerals, letters, and numbers. So, there's actually a society here in Los Angeles in tribute to Manly P. Hall. He wrote a lot of books. I learned about what I'm teaching about today through him. He published a book in 1926, almost 100 years ago, called The Secret Teachings of All Ages. He teaches that A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26 are 26. So, 74. If you write out holiday, it equals 74. If you write out English, it equals 74. London is 74. Gematria is 74. Occult is 74. Masonic, as you see inside, is 74. Masonry is based in Jewish mysticism. The word Jewish is 74. Very special number. There's a song in the music world by a rock band called Gematria the Killing. The word killing is 74. So is the word stabbing. We're on a calendar named after the Pope, the Roman calendar. The 74th day of the year, the Ides of March. Remember the stabbing?
The Ides of March.
And, 3 of the first 5 presidents died on 7/4. Jefferson and Adams both died on July 4th, 1826. And then 1,826 days later, Monroe died on July 4th. It's amazing what that is. On Masonic temples, it's etched all this number. It's a Pythagoras quote. They say Pythagoras is kind of like, some people say he created the first secret society. Most of this kind of information, Greek slant. But we educate about these really redundant patterns, and that number 74 is so faithful. Like Kobe Bryant, big basketball star. Do you know Kobe Bryant for the Lakers? That was the 74th NBA season. He died at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age, and then the Lakers won the finals on Father-Daughter Day on the calendar year, exactly 41 weeks after LeBron's birthday. And his whole career was 41. He had his career high 81 points. The rest of his team scored 41. In his last career game, he scored 60. The rest of his team scored 41. The last shot he ever made, he was being guarded by number 41. After that game, he put out a Kobe after death shoe on the day leaving 41 days left in the year after death. Biblical. Dies while flying through a Catholic Mass on the Pope's 41st day. So we educate about these things that all roads really do lead to Rome. Roman equals 74. You know what I mean? And it's a really long thing. It's kind of a dark subject, but at the same time, I have this idea that we should confront what's going on because these patterns are so consistent, and a lot of young people. It just happened. I don't know. International headline the other day: young K-pop star just found dead at his home at age 25. And the media says they think it was natural. What's natural cause? He's a 25-year-old superstar. So we try to educate about this. We see that there's something very dark going on in the world. And I'm trying to get people to stop going to sports games and concerts, not because sports are bad or the concerts are bad, but it's because the people who are controlling these entertainers, they're bad. And it's a lot of darkness happening in the world. A lot of people aren't seeing it because they distract them out of the fun and entertaining things, which anyway. But yeah, that is the magic number.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what do you think? You got anything to say in camera?
Do you like Prince?
Prince?
The singer Prince?
A long time ago, yeah.
Okay.
You know he passed away today in history? Prince, the singer, died on this day 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one more thing. In 1983, he put out the song "I Would Die For You." Do you know that song?
Yeah.
big song. But he spelled it way ahead of his time. He spelled it with the number 4 and the letter U. U was the 21st letter. And he ended up dying on 4/21, the Queen's birthday. And they lit up Niagara Falls. You know where that is in Buffalo? They lit up Niagara Falls purple that day. Well, Prince's Purple Rain album, his girlfriend at the time was Vanity. She died just before him the day of the 58th Grammys. But she was a beauty queen from Niagara Falls. So they got lit up purple the same day he died. She died on the 58th Grammys. And Gematria Purple Rain equals 58. She died the day of the 58th Grammys. The day Kobe died, Beyonce won her 24th Grammy. Kobe finished his career number 24. And there's a music video that Destiny's
Yeah, but I noticed
now.
that. What do you say? It's just like
Bugaboo with him in it. That video came out.
Greek theory.
When
I said, bro.
Greed.
Greed.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Have a good time with your
I
family.
noticed that greed factor.
I gotta tell you, just been the little kids there. I was like, I don't know about that.
Nah, yeah. Too dark of the subject.
But at the same time, it's like, God, this is how they live it.
Yeah.
Is it better? My parents didn't censor me from anything, so I don't know. If Mom was there, she could have made the decision.
She was all about it.
They're just children in 2023. They have to hear the knowledge, you know.
That's why it's like,
And you're helping them.
they got enough there. You see the back.
Should we try some more, Mike?
Yes, sir. It worked immediately. You got homie's attention and you had a whole conversation.
People, Los Angeles, Venice Beach on this beautiful day. Again, we're so glad to be out here, not under a Gavin Newsom lockdown. I'm so happy we don't have to get any more jabs. Wear our muzzles. It's a beautiful thing. And you guys, to preserve a beautiful thing, we're gonna have to stand up for our rights and liberties. A lot of people don't realize that a month before everything was shut down, the same people that profited off this pandemic, they had a simulation. It was called Event 201. They simulated a pandemic that would last 2.5 years. All the same people that made all the money off it. What a big coincidence. And you guys, we gotta wake up to the agendas that are being waged. The same people who simulated Event 201, they've simulated a worse pandemic for 2025. You should look into it. It's called the SPARS pandemic, simulating a very long lockdown throughout the world that starts in 2025. Amazon was nice enough to put out a new movie they made, Lockdown 2025. Again, you guys, what are the odds that they simulated a coronavirus pandemic October 18th, 2019,
Anybody?
the same day the military world games began in Wuhan, China?
Don't leave me
A
hanging.
joke about it being called Event 201, or it being on the day of the military world games in Wuhan, China. Event 201 was put on by the Jesuit Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum. If you don't know who the Jesuit Order are, look them up. They are a military order of the Catholic Church that's been warned about for centuries. They were created to kill the Protestant Reformation, the same movement that brought a lot of people to this nation, looking to escape the tyranny of the church that ruled over Europe. Again, you guys, they say those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Most people in this nation, they don't know that the calendar we're on is Roman. They don't know the English language goes back to the church. They don't realize how many of their politicians are Jesuits like Gavin Newsom that are part of an order that's been warned about for centuries, that it's sinister, that it's murderous, that it's manipulative, that it only cares about its own power. Some people say the Jesuits created the term, the ends justify the means. You guys get a chance, you should look into Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s book, The Real Anthony Fauci. You should read what's in that book. I'm not saying you gotta like RFK Jr., but you should take the time to read. Seek knowledge, seek truth. Anthony Fauci, twisted guy. How many of you guys know? Paid for experiments, millions of US taxpayer dollars to put little puppies in tiny cages with genetically modified flies
just to see how many fly bites, biting flies the dogs could take before they'd pass. What kind of military experiment is that? What kind of use of taxpayer dollars is that? If you guys don't know about this, you should look into it. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact. You guys care that your tax money's getting spent that way? Why is it that we can spend all this money on Ukraine, but we can't spend money to fix up our own communities? Why has my city, Portland, Oregon, been boarded up for the last 3 years? Why are the police told to stand down to Antifa in Portland and Seattle, cause mayhem, close everyone's mom and pop businesses? Go up to Portland, the only companies existing are the mega corporations. So many good, honest people have lost their business because of COVID. The policies, the planned riots, Antifa. Does anyone see this stuff's not occurring organically, but that it's occurring by design? That it's part of an agenda? Have you ever heard of Agenda 21? Have you ever heard of Agenda 2030? If you don't know what Agenda 21 is or Agenda 2030, you should really look it up. Again, you guys, a democracy can only exist if people have information and knowledge. Most people in America really don't know much about anything. They don't know history. They don't know what their government's up to. They know who won the basketball game last night, how the Dodgers closed it out, what's going on in the playoffs, what restaurant's good. You guys, we have consumer knowledge. You guys should look into the Rockefellers. They've had a lot of influence in the society. Rockefellers, once upon a time, they said they didn't want a society of thinkers. They wanted a society of consumers. Another family that was interested in having big control, big wealth, populace, easy to manipulate, populace with low knowledge, low skills, had to be dependent on other people, had to be dependent on government. You guys, it's becoming more and more that way. Pay attention to what's going on in America. Why do we have to spend so much on school? Meanwhile, nations like India and China, they spend a fraction, but they're sending all their people over here for the best jobs because they have the real math skills. We're spending 30 to 1 what they spend, yet they're way better educated. Look at all these big tech jobs. There's hardly any Americans working there. And you wonder why these big tech companies undermine the First and Second Amendment. Americans hardly even work there. For my man in the LeBron jersey, please know, LeBron won the finals 41 weeks after his birthday, on Father-Daughter Day, after Kobe and Gianna died. Kobe at age 41, on the Pope's 41st day of his age, while traveling from Catholic Mass. Look up Kobe's shoes. The Kobe After Death shoe, released on the day, leaving 41 days left in the year. Looking to Kobe scoring 81 points, how the rest of his team scored 41. Looking at Kobe's last game, scored 60, the rest of his team scored 41. Last bucket over number 41, they took him off the court with 4.1 seconds. His whole career was 41. Only to die at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age, before LeBron wins the finals 41 weeks after his birthday. Again, you guys, you look into Kabbalah, it'll all start to make a lot more sense. Why? How many guys realize LeBron James won the only championship for the Cavs on the real King James's birthday, June 19th? How many of you realize King James had a son, King Charles? And those who fought for King Charles were Cavaliers. Thus, King James, born in the same hospital as Steph Curry and Nate Thurman. R.I.P. to Nate Thurman, who died right after LeBron won on the real King James's birthday. And Nate Thurman, number 42 for the Warriors and the Cavs, like Jackie. And you guys, there's a reason for these same old numbers. There's a reason Gavin Newsom said 56% of you are going to get coronavirus in 56 days. But anyway, numbers, too much for people. Let's come back to the basics. What's going on in America, you guys? Why does the West Coast look the way it is? The big tech side of America. All these non-Americans coming in, getting paid $300,000 a year to essentially create algorithms that censor, ruin the First Amendment, surveillance technology so they can track all of our faces. You guys ever been to any of these big tech companies? They're like military fortresses.
Can't talk to anybody. Nothing but police and security at Facebook, YouTube, Google. Like the Gestapo there. What's up with these big tech companies? Are they really to entertain us, or are they part of an agenda? It's about getting us to not interact with each other. It's about us to give up our information to intelligence agencies. What are these companies really about? Why does Mark Zuckerberg wear a hoodie with the Star of David on the inside? Talks about secrecy, and why he's got the same birthday as Israel. Isn't that weird? You guys should look into the Talpiot program. Talpiot program. I'd guess 99.9% of Americans never heard about it, but if they did, they might be concerned. Again, you guys, the Romans, they learned how to rule over people. And they learned the best way to rule was with distraction, entertainment, deception. How's Rome doing today, you guys? Is Rome a great empire anymore? Or did Rome fall? How about this nation with all the Roman architecture? Does it seem like it's going up, or does it seem like it's coming down? We just had an orange clown for a president. Now we got a senile grandpa.
Yes, sir.
Now we got homeless people in every city. Larger numbers by the day. We got wealth disparity worse than any country in the history of the world. Are we going to stand up for our rights and liberties? No. Who said no? I don't know now.
Who said it? Who said no?
I need you to fight for the rights and liberties. Come on, America. They just said they don't want to fight for their rights and liberties. We need to get Bob Marley back on the radio. What's with all this? What do they call it these days? All these guys that use this voice modulator thing. They can't even sing, but they're on the radio.
Auto-tune.
Auto-tune.
Oh my God, auto-tune. Let's get some Bob Marley get up, stand up on.
Get up. Stand up.
Hey, by the way, I don't want to hog the mic. If anybody else wants to come out here and speak truth to power. Hey, you. Don't be shy. Right when I said it, she looked back. But seriously, guys, we all need to do our part to make this country better, because it's falling apart. It is falling apart. You guys, do me a favor tonight. You all got a smartphone in your pocket. You probably got YouTube. I want you to type something in. Bill Gates, Innovating to Zero, 2010 TED Talk. One more time. Bill Gates, Innovating to Zero, 2010 TED Talk. I want you to listen to it. It's gonna take 27 minutes out of your life, but it's important. I can't repeat one of the things he said because we're live streaming and they take it down for medical misinformation to quote exactly what he said. But what it's about is reducing population. If you don't know, Bill Gates' father was into eugenics. Bill Gates has said we need to reduce population. That means he's into eugenics too. You wouldn't believe what he says at the 6-minute mark of Innovating to Zero. He says we can reduce the population if we do a good job with blank. I'm not allowed to say that because social media deletes you every time. We're on social media right now, but I want you to look it up. I'll give you a clue for what he said. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is in Seattle, across the street from the world's biggest needle. So he said we can reduce population if we do a good job with blank. Again, you watch 6 minutes of that speech, you'll hear exactly what he said. Then he goes on, and he says we gotta make it so that common people can't afford to drive. We gotta make gas $5 to $10 a gallon. And then he laughs because he's in a room with billionaires. He goes, for us, that's nothing, but for the common people, that's most of their discretionary income. Then he says we need to get into Russia. He says in Russia, they have all the spent nuclear energy fuel. He says, you guys don't know this, Bill Gates in Wyoming, where the national parks is, Bill Gates is building a massive hole in the ground to dump all this spent nuclear energy fuel to set it on fire as an experiment. He says it could power Los Angeles for 50 years. But why would he set up this crazy experiment next to one of the most beautiful national parks in the whole nation? Why is our government even allowing this? Again, you guys, if you don't know about any of this, you should. It should be on the nightly news every night. Instead, they got all their manufactured propaganda to scare you out of your rights and liberties. All these supposed people that hate government, but then they never attack the government. They supposedly go shoot up a grocery store or a movie theater or a school. Doesn't even make sense.
Real
BS.
facts, real facts, real facts.
Facts.
Real facts.
Facts, bro.
Bro, here, what's that? This paper hold.
Good to meet you. Hey, if you want the mic, you can have it too. Anybody's got something to say, just say it.
Give him the mic.
Am I talking nonsense or what? No, that's good. I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, they love you, Dad.
Now you talking. Now you talking my language. Yep. Who's getting on the mic? Mike?
I might stick, sorry. I lived it took me like down there. I think about 5:30, and I think we should start moving back to the cars and get over to Hubbard. I think that's all. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I got my skateboard in the house.
Again, beautiful people of California.
If you have
Good to be down here. It's a beautiful day, especially for a guy like me from Seattle. We don't get weather like this very often.
You get the next
You guys
round.
should see my city. Seattle
Remind me
and
your
Portland,
name
man.
again?
It's ugly.
Eric. Yeah.
Antifa, boarded up buildings. Wasn't like this 10 years ago, man. I was just in San Francisco. San Francisco's dead. People are scared to park down there, get your window broken. What's all this fear? What happened to America, man? It wasn't like that 10 years ago. How'd it get like this?
It's good right here, chat. You hear him good right here?
For a president, overgrown Oompa Loompa. How about having an old senile man? You think that's part of it? Why do we march along to this show they give us? I was 17 years old when they made Bush the president. Really, he won the election and I could hardly put a sentence together. First Republican president,
Stay right here.
his dad. I called him King George.
Zach's killing it.
I was 17 years old, I couldn't vote. Senior in high school, I said, look at this. We still live in the land of kings and queens. George Bush becomes number 43 in the state where his brother's the 43rd governor and his daddy was the 43rd vice president. Man, that's a lot of 43. You think it's an accident Tom Brady went down there at age 43 and won the Super Bowl? Tom Brady wins Super Bowls. Mike Vick goes to prison for dogfighting. Imagine a real football game. You think Tom Brady'd ever beat Mike Vick? I'm trying to make a point, you guys. This is a rigged game. Rigged game. Tom Brady runs a 40 slower than half the grandmothers out here. Greatest football player of all time. Come on, you guys. We're caught up in all these jokes. 9/11, Patriot Act, Patriots. We don't see it. George W. Bush, the president. Something funny about Barack. What song came out 10 years before they gave us Barack? Wasn't it Tupac Changes 10 years before him? Said we ain't never gonna see a black president. Boom, 10 years later we get number 44. 44 years after the Civil Rights Act, when the greatest civil rights leader was murdered on 4/4. Martin Luther King Jr., who assumed the name Martin Luther, of the Protestant Reformation leader who became a priest on the same day, April 4th, who wrote the 95 Theses, only for MLK to get killed on the 95th day of the year. You think that's an accident? It's called a ritual. We got rituals going on in this nation, you guys. Did you guys know DC's known as the Masonic City? That's a secret society. Did you know that modern Freemasonry was created by the Jesuit Order, the Roman military order of the Catholic Church? DC's the Jesuit Masonic City. The Jesuits have been in DC longer than the feds. Some people think Biden and Trump are opposed to each other, maybe on the cameras, but at the end of the day, they're in the same Jesuit club. Again, I want a lot of people to look up the Jesuit Order. Their name must be known. Read about how many times they've been warned about for centuries. The founders knew about the Jesuits. That's why they gave us the First and Second Amendment. Start looking at these big tech companies that hate the First and Second Amendment, that were created with federal dollars. Start to see a lot of them are run by Jesuits. What I'm trying to say, you guys, this nation's been hijacked.
That's why in the Constitution it says you have the right to bear arms to protect yourself from enemies foreign and domestic. We've allowed the domestic enemies to run this nation for a long time. And they're clever, smart people. They know they can whittle away at our quality of life. They keep us pacified with the ball game. Notice they shut down everything in COVID except for the ball game. They took away March Madness, but they let you have the NBA, abbreviated MLB. Again, you guys, all roads lead to Rome, the Roman Colosseum. We have to have a change in consciousness, you guys. We need to start asking questions. Why is America on the decline? Why are we losing rights and liberties? Why are more people homeless? Why can less people afford to feed their family? Why is a bag of fertilizer doubled in price in the last year? How's that even possible?
You know what? We ain't ready for that yet. We ain't ready for that.
I'm gonna be quiet for this man making the music for a minute.
Do it. I don't know if that's some copyrighted bullshit or
Again, beautiful people of Los Angeles, let's play a game.
We're back.
It's called Is It a Coincidence? You tell me, is it a coincidence that Kobe Bryant died one day after LeBron James passed Kobe in points scored in Kobe's hometown of Philadelphia? Is that a coincidence?
Hell no.
Who has an opinion? Is it a coincidence that Kobe Bryant died one day after LeBron James passed Kobe in points scored in Kobe's hometown of Philadelphia? And is it a coincidence that there's no memorial for Kobe on the stadium? Why is that? Is it a coincidence that Elgin Baylor dropped dead right before Baylor won the championship? Is it a coincidence that Del Nardo Webster, the St. Peter's Peacocks, died right after their Cinderella story, starting on St. Patrick's Day and ending on Peacock Day? Highest drafted player by the St. Peter's Peacocks just dies right after. Creighton, the last Jesuit school surviving in the tournament this year, Willis Reed just dropped dead on the same day as the other two. All of them went to Jesuit schools. You guys know March Madness? First one, Villanova, the Catholic school, beat the Jesuit school, Georgetown. Catholics, Jesuits, Rome, the Colosseum, distraction, sports, control through distraction and entertainment. Ritual sacrifice for the king. Again, let me ask the question one more time. Is it a coincidence that Kobe Bryant died one day after LeBron passed Kobe in points scored in Kobe's hometown of Philly? They called Kobe the Black Mamba, and there's literally black snakes on the Philadelphia court. Is that a coincidence?
him over here has something to say.
What's up, man?
Oh, my mistake.
We thought we had a hit. Baby.
That's what we need. We need some merch and some contacts.
I'm coming. I'm gonna get the show broke down. I gotta get the show broke down. Okay, no one wants to answer the question. Is it a coincidence that Kobe Bryant died one day after the anniversary, or one day after LeBron passing Kobe in points scored in Kobe's hometown, Philly, on the court with black snakes on it when his name's Black Mamba? How about is it a coincidence that Kobe Bryant died on the anniversary of Bear Bryant, considered the greatest football coach? Is that a coincidence? The Bryant from the Temptations also died on the 26th. Well, what's with three famous Bryants dying on the 26th? Is that weird? Is that a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that 3 of the first 5 U.S. presidents all died on the nation's birthday? Is that a coincidence? A lot of coincidences in this nation. Why, man? Come spit them, man. This man says he spit facts here. I appreciate that. But oh, it's not propaganda, sir. My man said we're doing propaganda. Here, check this out. Kobe Bryant, dead at age 41, on the Pope's 41st day of his age, while traveling from Catholic Mass. Go tell me when he came off the court against Utah in his last game that there wasn't 4.1 seconds on the clock. Go tell me his last bucket wasn't made over number 41. Go tell me I'm wrong that he scored 60 and the rest of his team scored 41. Tell me I'm wrong that when he dropped 81, the rest of his team didn't score 41. And tell me I'm wrong that I didn't write a book in 2017 about Kobe Bryant in 41, 3 years before he died at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age, where I lay down that book that Rome and the Catholic Church controls all these rigged sports leagues. You'd find out that all those are facts, not propaganda. Then LeBron wins the finals 41 weeks after his own birthday, after Kobe dies. Why don't you go see my video from the date LeBron signed with the Lakers, the first day of the 7th month, coming from the 17th state, Ohio. I said, you just watch. In LeBron's 17th season, he'll win the Lakers their 17th championship. They had to sacrifice Kobe for it. What just happened this year on Kobe Bryant Day? Len Dawson, the Chiefs' great quarterback, dies. What was the Super Bowl? Chiefs versus Kobe City? You think it's a coincidence that they had that Chamberlain Heights cartoon where Kobe dies in a helicopter crash? How about that Kobe did a short film with Bruce Willis and Kanye that ends with an exploding helicopter? Are these just coincidences? The reason they get away with this is because people just march along. March along. Everything's a coincidence. I'm pretty sure that show, The Walking Dead, it's really about our population. Just walking along to tyranny, agendas. Ma'am, if I provoked you, you can come tell me why. I'll apologize if I'm out of line. Not trying to ruin anybody's day. Oh, middle finger. Middle finger, I'm standing up for us. Hey, are you from the West Coast? Look at our cities. Homeless, destruction, impossible to afford anything. Can't just march along. Tyranny's taking over in this country. You really think they were trying to keep you safe from germs? As Amazon and Walmart took over all the market share, a lot of mom and pops got closed up. You guys didn't notice how dumb they treated us during COVID? To go in a restaurant, you had to put on a mask, but then when you sat down at the table, you could take your mask off. On the plane, you had to wear the mask, but when it was snack time, everybody could take the mask off. How many of you guys just marched along to this? Does that make sense, you guys? We're just marching along to nonsense. This is what happens when you march along to nonsense. When you just allow authority to rule over you and dictate what you do in your life, no matter how little sense it makes. Again, you guys, serious question. Empires of the past. The Greek Empire, is it still here? Is the Roman Empire still here? Empires before that, are they still here? America, the West, is the empire today. You can see we're on the decline in a big way, you guys. Look at our leaders, our supposed leaders. Again, you guys, you think Joe Biden's a good leader? You think Donald Trump, an orange-painted clown, is all about himself as an ego? You think that's a good leader?
The pussy grabber.
Barack Obama in 2008, when he was running for president, he said, we cannot allow these big tech companies to have immunity from prosecution from violating our civil rights. He said it for 3 months, nonstop. I said, you know what? He's right on. When it came time to vote, how did Barack vote? Barack voted the exact opposite of what he preached for 3 months. I told everybody then, I live up in Seattle, I became public enemy number 1. I said, Barack's not for us. He's another politician that talks out of both sides of his mouth. Things didn't get better for us under Barack. Before that, we had Bush, the second King George, the first Republican since his father. Before that, we had another Jesuit good boy, Clinton. Again, you guys, we are ruled over by stooges.
Our votes do not matter. These are selections, not elections. These people dictate to us. We didn't choose them. Here's something I want you guys to look up. Tell me if I'm wrong. Thomas Jefferson, one of the founders, he said to preserve freedom, there has to be a revolution every 19 years. He was very specific. He said there has to be a revolution every 19 years. He didn't say 20. He said every 19. Why 19? Where's 19 in this world? It's the moon, you guys. Every 19 years, the moon's in the same place in the sky. It's why the Hebrew calendar celebrates its holidays on the same day every 19 years. Now think about this pattern. What came 19 years before COVID-19 that also diminished our rights and liberties?
September 11th.
And the 19 hijackers, exactly. September 11th and the 19 hijackers. So war on germs came 19 years after the war on terror. What came, hey, you know it, man, what came 19 years before the war on terror? It was the war on drugs, which was really a war on personal freedom that targeted darker complected people and put a lot of darker complected people in cages just because they were poorer and darker. And it turned them into slave labor for corporations that paid them pennies on the hour. And it destroyed communities. Who noticed? They declared the drug war and then all of a sudden they pushed crack cocaine into poor communities with these crazy sentences. You don't think this stuff's an agenda, you guys? We've been turning a blind eye to these agendas every 19 years. Wait a minute. How do you feel about what I'm saying?
They're having a good time.
Try not to. If you do, you do.
Talk about that. No, I have. I'm gonna do it right now. They're all good. Said nothing about that yet up here. Bob Lee,
They ain't even bothered.
that one's a big one. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. We're good.
Maybe a lifeguard?
Get some pictures of the. Not you. I'm making fun of this. Right. It's just the ambulance ladies.
Beautiful people of California, please don't mind me. We're just out here to share knowledge, try to get people to think, wake up to agendas, tyranny, evil, because it does exist in this world. Martin Luther King Jr., he said on April 4th, 1967, a year to the day of his death, that there's a lot of evil stuff going on in America, and if we don't speak out against it, we become part of that evil. They don't teach us about that speech. It's called A Time to Break Silence. Look it up. MLK 4467, Riverside Church of New York. A Time to Break Silence. Gave that speech, man, more than 50 years ago now. It's sad. And we're still not speaking out. But look, April 4th, MLK's assassination this year in California. 2 big deaths in San Francisco on April 4th. Bob Lee, who invented square, 4-sided object, murdered on 4/4. USA champion bicycle racer. Again, you guys, San Francisco lost 2 celebrities this year on April 4th. 4/4, Bob Lee, who invented Square and CashApp, and a USA racing champion cyclist. The cyclist was 44 years old to go with the 4/4 date. Bob Lee was 43, meaning he was in his 44th year of life, nearly 44 years old. Now here's the thing I want you guys all to look up, because it matters. It matters, you guys. This matters to all of us who are Americans right now. The Federal Reserve is rolling out something called FedNow. It's a voluntary digital currency. It's voluntary for now. It will begin in July. It is the digital federal dollar from the Federal Reserve.
They posted on the Ides of March, the day to remember the stabbing of Caesar in 44 BC, that they'd begin certifying FedNow the first week of April. So on the Ides of March, to remember the stabbing of Caesar in 44 BC, they let us know that this is going to happen in April. And then the guy who really took digital currency to the next level, Bob Lee, gets murdered, stabbed to death on 4/4 in his 44th year of life. The cyclist dies at 44 on the same day. Think about the symbolism. These people who do this stuff, you guys, they're the occult. They're into symbolism, clues, cycles. A cycle's about to end. The end of physical money. Remember they told us it was dangerous during COVID. You might get some germs. You don't have an immune system anymore. Put on your slave muzzle. Go be a guinea pig for Pfizer or Moderna. Anyway, piece by piece, they're doing this to us. I want you guys to think about our government that can't come up with enough taxes, having total 100% control to see into our lives, every dollar we have, every dollar we spend, every dollar we sell. You know, having a garage sale, they'll be demanding taxes on everything. And then what happens to the homeless people out here when they don't have a phone or a CashApp? What happens to the homeless people? How do we help out homeless people if we can't even put $1 in their hand? You guys got to look into Agenda 21 and 2030. Their plan is to eradicate all poverty by 2030. It sounds nice, but the problem is when these people say that, they're talking about getting rid of these people. They're not talking about saving them and making them wealthier. These people are making all of us poor. The middle class is getting destroyed. Wealth disparities out of control. We got to think about this, America. It's close. The voluntary digital Federal Reserve coin starts in July. We got 3 months. How long until it's not voluntary? How long until there is serious abuse with taxation? How long until it's like China, where if you speak out like me, all of a sudden you don't have access to digital dollars? Because I came out and spoke truth on the Pier, now my account's cut off because the government said I'm a dissident. This is already happening in China, you guys. You think China's different than America? You're wrong. The same Jesuit Order that runs China runs America. And you want proof of that? Again, look up Event 201, the coronavirus pandemic simulation. The same day the military World Games began in Wuhan, 1 month before the outbreak, 2 nation CDCs participated. China's and the US's. China and the US participated in a simulation for COVID. Now we do this back and forth of who's to blame. You guys, this is an agenda. It's pointing fingers. But in the real time, we're losing our rights and liberties, our way of life. Come on, man. I know a lot of you marching by. Your life was disrupted by these agendas. And if you think that's okay because government was trying to keep you safe, you got to wake up. You got to wake up. These people use fear to control you, to take away your rights and liberties. These people don't care about your health. You think if they care about your health, wouldn't they subsidize healthy food? Our government subsidizes junk food. That's why most of us can't even afford produce, but we can afford a bag of Cheetos. Come on, man. This government doesn't care about our health. You know, I got a ticket in the time of COVID for hiking on a trail by myself. Come on, man. I can't hike on a trail, be out in nature. You guys, nonsense. We're marching along to nonsense, and if we keep marching, we're gonna find the cliff. We're gonna find the cliff.
We'll be out here a little longer, truth seekers. For those of you that can't make it here specifically, we'll be in Hollywood tonight, the Hollywood Walk of Fame tonight. Zach engaging with some truth seekers here, people that resonate with the information.
And ultimately they started paying all these people $300,000 salaries, right? So when that happened, landlords said, oh, I can charge way more for rent. Oh, people have restaurants. Oh, food can cost way more. All of a sudden, people are just like priced out of the community they lived in. And they can't afford shit. And then, you know, they lose their jobs for COVID. And now that's how it happens. Just step by step. It's been going on for a decade. It's just getting worse and worse. But if you start to look at it, big tech is connected to all of it. There's sensors. Gavin Newsom he's part of this. I always speak about the Jesuits. He's one of the biggest criminals in this Jesuit organization. Gavin Newsom. Yeah. Thank you again. Thanks for stopping. All right, so something more true seekers. Yeah, I think keeping it simple is better. Yeah, definitely. Good advice. Yeah. It's also too is you get a lot of time right here. Yeah. This is a nice corridor. How are we doing on time? 55 right now. 55. Anything? Hey, maybe you got other things that you want me to talk about that be good for this. Oh man, that's more complicated. When that happened, the first quarter, number 3. Yeah, that's a lot. Man, the rim of this and all that. The Kobe 41 thing.
In LA.
And we're in LA. Right, so that Kobe resonated.
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful people of Los Angeles. Again, it's a beautiful day. We're calling this the Truth Seeker Gathering. If you guys got a request, got a question about something that's going on in this world, we might have an answer. Do a lot of research over here. We're trying to wake people up to serious agendas. Somebody just asked, you know what happened to Tupac? You guys, I want you to look into this with Tupac. Tupac put out his last album, All Eyes on Me, on February 13th. 213. Pretty familiar number down here, isn't it? Isn't that the LA area code? And you gotta win the Super Bowl on 213? Man, amazing. But you know how many days later Tupac died after that album? He died 213 days later. 213. And there's something about that number I'll get to. It's bigger than LA. But check this out. That album they rushed out after Tupac died, the one with Hail Mary on it, couldn't be any more Catholic. Hail Mary. What day did they put out that album? What day did they put out that album of Tupac on the cross looking like Jesus? They put out that album on Remember the 5th of November? You know who that date's important to? Remember the 5th of November? The Jesuit Order. An order of killers. That's Guy Fawkes Day. Tell me something, did something just happen in Houston on November 5th? Maybe an Astro World concert, big upside down cross stage, maybe Travis Scott was there. Maybe a bunch of people got trampled to death as the Astros lost the World Series, as Astro from UB40 died the next day. Anyway, let me come back to Tupac. Tupac on the cross. Do you guys know where the picture of white Jesus comes from? Because his description in the Bible's not a white man. He has skin that looks like burnt, how was it? Burnt what? Burnt copper. So that's not white, burnt copper.
Doesn't sound white. He has hair like wool? Doesn't sound white. So where does the picture of white Jesus come from? Look up this name, Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia. That's where white Jesus comes from. If you don't know this. And look at what day the birthday is of Caesar Borgia. Oh, it's September 13th. Isn't that the day that Tupac died? Then they put out Tupac on the cross, looking like Jesus, but actually more like the Jesus described in the Bible. Now here's what you gotta know. Here's what you gotta know. These Jesuits that do this, they're into Kabbalah. Kabbalah's easy, you guys. It has a book that's real short. You don't like to read, don't worry, the book's only 40 pages long. And really, I only need you to read the first paragraph of the Book of Formation. It says, God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. Kind of like how God speaks the world into existence in Genesis over numbered days. But look at this, you guys. Hebrew, every letter's a number. Greek, every letter's a number. Latin, every letter's a number. Roman numerals. In English, if you make A1 up to Z26, so A's 1, B's 2, C's 3, listen to this. All of these words add to the same thing. They all add to 74. Tupac, Machiavelli, Jesus, cross, Messiah, gospel, parables. This guy thinks what I'm saying is funny. Hold on, I got to talk to this guy. Hold on. You really think it's funny that Tupac dies and they put out an album of him on a cross on November 5th? And then years later on the same day, Travis Scott has a tragedy at a concert where the stage is a cross? And then UB40 from Astro dies the day after the Astro World tragedy?
Gonna mute it really quick.
Hey, right here, one of the true seekers. Let me flip around to get the QR code. Will this work? Can people scan it through the screen?
Probably if they screenshot the video.
Clear?
Yes.
I'll figure out a way to put this up better later.
Okay, I know who you are.
Hey,
I've seen you.
give him your information real quick. This is
Hey.
the man right here.
YVK, man. YVK, you can follow me on Instagram, YVKNO15. YouTube, YVK, all platforms, YVK. High vibration music, best music out of the whole world. Not just the West Coast. Let's go.
You got something you want to say?
Appreciate you guys.
We out of here. Truth seekers all day.
You guys travel safe.
Sim.
What was your name?
Brother? Simrin, but Sim's a lot easier. So I just didn't want to interrupt. You know, you were doing this stream. Brandon.
Again, beautiful people of LA. Just trying to wake people up to things. I just said this a minute ago. Some of you might have heard it. But seriously, if you hear me and you think this is interesting, you have a question, come up. I'll talk to you. I'll give you the mic if you got something better to say. But again, it is relevant to this city. Everybody knows Tupac Shakur. Again, somebody just asked me, what happened to Tupac then? And I really want people to think about this.
Good to see you.
Tupac. All Eyes on Me, his last album while he was alive. It came out on February 13th, 213, and then he dies 213 days later. And we all know at the end of his life, he was claiming LA even though he's from the East Coast. That's the area code out here, 213, like how you guys won Super Bowl 56 on 213 in the rigged NFL, known as the National Fixed League. But again, you guys, the thing that's really important about Tupac's death is what they did after he died. They rushed out the Machiavelli album with him on the cross like Jesus. And again, people did not get the sick joke of it coming out on November 5th with Hail Mary. That is a very important day to the Jesuit Order, who is the military order of the Catholic Church, who is interested in world control and domination. You need to know who the Jesuits are. They are killers. They are racist. They have a lot to do with the history of slavery in this nation. That's why Georgetown's paying out reparations. It's kind of a sick joke to pay a little bit of tribute to what they're responsible for. But
But again, you guys, Tupac on the cross after his death. And again, you guys, look into where white Jesus comes from. Look up the name Caesar Borgia. That's where white Jesus comes from. Tupac died on Caesar Borgia's birthday. If you've never read the Bible, there's only one physical description of Jesus. It's Revelation 1:14, and it talks about a man with hair like wool with burnt brass skin. I don't know any white people that look like that. If you guys don't know who I am, I put out a lot of information talking about how many young rappers have been murdered in what I call Jesus rituals. It didn't just happen to Tupac. It happens a lot. Again, you guys, look up this song. Look up the song Gematria, the killing name, and then look up the song Murder by Numbers by the Police. It's about how murder is the sport of the elite, about how fun it is to murder people, and how it's done by a code of ABC is 1, 2, 3. If you make ABC into 1, 2, 3, up to Z, the 26th letter, 26, if you add up the letters of Tupac, Machiavelli, Jesus, Cross, Messiah, Gospel, Parables, they all equal the same thing, 74. Like holiday, like killing, like how 3 of the first 5 presidents in this nation died on 7/4. Like how Kobe died in the 74th NBA season at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass. Like how Biggie died 74 days from his birthday. Tupac and Biggie, unsolved murder mysteries by the same number code that points back to the Jesuits who control this nation's government, military, police, news. That's how they're unsolved murders. The Catholic Church is who made you worship white Jesus when his physical description looks a lot more like Tupac. All of you guys who think this stuff's a joke, I'm telling you the joke is on you.
I think she would
You
appreciate
better wake
one.
up. Here we're in
She's
LA, I'll tell you why Jackie wore number 42. Who knows that Chadwick Boseman died on Jackie Robinson Day right before the Dodgers won the World Series? Dodgers broke the 32-year drought, beating the Rays, like the 32 sun rays on the Jesuit Order's logo. But again, here's the reason Jackie wore 42. You gotta learn the Kabbalistic code of letters and numbers. Slavery equals 42. Tuskegee 42. The N-word 42. Brothers 42. Jackie 42. Huxtable 42. Cosby Show 42. Look into that number.
Martin.
Deaths of young entertainers of a darker complexion. There's a long pattern, especially NFL players that people forget about. Linemen, names you forget. Again, you guys, the Jesuits, a sinister order, an evil order, controlling a lot of politicians in this nation, a lot of executives, and with it a lot of minds. Somehow, seemingly, it seems they put a spell over America so they don't care about anything righteous.
Are we getting close to 5:30? 5:07.
Of course.
Hey, one more, you guys. R.I.P. Prince. Prince died on this day 7 years ago, prematurely. Died 319 days after his birthday. Had the song 319. Also had the song I Would Die For You, and it was like he saw the future because he was texting. He spelled it with the number 4 and the letter U. Go figure, use the 21st letter. I Would Die 421 is the way you could read that song, the exact day he died. 421 on the Queen's birthday. Remember that year? Vanity, his girlfriend from Purple Rain, she died the day of the 58th Grammys. R.I.P. Vanity. They lit up Niagara Falls purple the same day Prince died. You know who was from Niagara Falls? Vanity, beauty pageant winner from Niagara Falls.
on the same day that Prince of Purple Rain dies. You guys think that's a coincidence? You think it's a coincidence that the Moonwalker turned 11 the year of Apollo 11? As everybody walks by, I started thinking, maybe is it a coincidence? Somebody tell me, is it a coincidence that Prince said I would die for you, written for you, with the number 4 in the letter U, and used the 21st letter? And he died on 4/21 on the Queen's birthday? Right after his ex-girlfriend dies before the Grammys? Is it a coincidence that Kobe died the day of the Grammys and Beyonce got her 24th award? Go back and look up the song Bugaboo, the music video from Destiny's Child with Kobe in it. Came out on the anniversary of Kobe dying. And Kobe died on the anniversary of Bear Bryant. And Bryant from the Temptations also died on the 26th. Are all these things a coincidence? Or is there a serious pattern here that's way beyond the probability of coincidence? Okay, more important questions. Who thinks this country is going up, or is it going down right now? This group gets it. They know what's going down. On the West Coast, you gotta know. Impossible to afford anything, homeless, crime, fear. What's going on in America? We pay so much in taxes. So many communities need help, but we only have money for Ukraine and big pharmaceutical giants. What about the actual people? I mean, hey, I come from Seattle, South Seattle. Seattle's the most segregated city in America. South Seattle needs so much help. No help, no money for South Seattle. Nothing. For 60 years. But we got all kinds of money for Ukraine, and there's a whole bunch of South Seattle stories. What are we doing in America? We can't march along to tyranny, you guys. Who knows why they gave us the First and Second Amendment? Why did we get a First and Second Amendment? Why did the founders give us that? What was the threat? Why the First and Second Amendment? Anyone? This man gets it. It was also the right to defend ourselves from enemies, foreign or domestic. How many of you guys think the people that rule over us are domestic enemies? You guys think Gavin Newsom's a good guy? You think Gavin Newsom cares about you? Does Gavin Newsom care about the people of California? Or does he care about ruling over the people of California? What's the answer to that one? I would have let you. You get it.
She knows her stuff. Yo,
yes.
She knows her stuff, yo.
The Jesuits created modern Freemasonry. It is all connected. You know your stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that.
See, you never know.
The date. Hey. Why is the ambulance the date?
Got in trouble. Some obese person ate too much? Hey, who ate too much food? Too much crabs. They got a stroke. You're gonna have the pamphlet maybe tomorrow. If I want one, or you. It's hard to print.
No, they didn't have. I'll get you digital.
Yeah, just so that you're on IG, right? Or you're not? Not really. Right? Can you write my email? Can you write it?
Anybody else want to close out on the mic?
Hey, was Lilts in here or no? Earlier, the black dude?
I haven't seen him.
I thought he was here on the video. Oh, he left though? Oh, okay. What is this?
Put your thing up there.
Hollywood's like wild though.
So we can't
last thing we should close out with?
I mean, Prince, Kobe, and Tupac. I mean, what you been doing, man? People relate to Tupac a lot because you know when he got out of jail, he was right on Venice for you earlier. Remember that famous video where he's walking on top of the guitar, that white girl from the
What about Chadwick?
Fresh out of jail. Then you got Prince's anniversary. The Lakers are doing well. I don't know. Just anything related to LA. Then you do have a lot of tourists here too. There's probably more tourists here than LA people. Like tomorrow, there's gonna be more LA people.
Hey, here's a good one for all the stoners out here today, one day after 420. Of course, they know 420's from California. How many of you guys noticed that when you legalize weed to the day they opened the dispensaries was 420 days? They literally waited 420 days to open the dispensary. You think that was an accident or was that a ritual? Is that a ritual or an accident? Somebody tell me. Nobody has an opinion about anything. Why is everyone so afraid to talk, man? Let's have a conversation. Stop staring at our phones, worrying so much about our social media. We gotta start talking again. I think we almost need to bring cigarettes back so people stand outside and smoke and talk together. You guys remember in the 90s when people could smoke? They weren't all on pharmaceuticals and antidepressants and anti-anxiety, and people started conversations and they went out and they weren't afraid of germs and terrorists. Here's my man over here. Shout out to this guy. He gets it.
Put more on stories about Kobe. I did a top 4 today. I want to, or actually I got to just Gematria related stuff. Like that last page I need is
Zach killing it out here.
What's that about here? You know what Anthony's actually part of? What do Gavin Newsom, Anthony Fauci, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Cuomo, Ross Schwab, what do they all have in common? That's true, but what order are they all a part of? That's not right. They're part of the military order. That's the military order of the Catholic Church.
We're not here to debate today.
It's not a debate. We're sharing information.
Yeah, it's okay. Share your information.
Hey, I'll share with you guys while you walk down. Okay, we got a guy who hates information. He called it a debate. We were just talking, but while you walk down the street, I'll share with you.
Pussy with muscles
they
right
said,
there.
They were right. They said Anthony Fauci's a criminal and everybody should know about it. How many of you guys know about Kerry Mullis? Who knows the name Kerry Mullis here? Kerry Mullis? Anybody? Kerry Mullis. He invented the PCR test. In the 90s, he talked about how Anthony Fauci was a criminal that was using his PCR test to falsely diagnose illness because people put money in his pocket. Like walking out of the country and signing off with the billionaire bankers. I'm gonna tell you something real quick. I'm gonna make this make sense to you, I think. You know about Event 201 that coronavirus pandemic simulation was 40 out there. Did you know that Joe Biden died at age 46, 201 days before the first ever Jesuit Order was the first ever It's very simple. No, it's not ugly. No, I mean, you listen to hardly anything. Trump married his ex-wife 45 years after their marriage on the 201st day of the year. They're all.
No, Trump's in on it.
About the Jesuits? No, I'll tell you something.
They're both weapons. Both sides are puppets.
Wait.
Both sides.
Listen. No. I'll give you something about Michelle. That you'll like. Yeah, no, I agree with you. You'll like this.
She said that.
You guys, this woman right here is so triggered because she thinks Donald Trump's a real hero. The orange, overgrown clown Oompa Loompa she thinks is a real This is what's wrong with America. She couldn't even listen for 5 seconds and thinks I'm an
She knew it all. She knew it all.
You're a joke, lady, and so is the man that's with you. You guys represent why this country's fucked. You can't listen, you think you know everything, and you worship a clown. Do you know why Donald Trump announced from the 58-story Trump Tower for the 58th election? Do you know how important that number is to Freemasonry? Do you know that the start of Freemasonry is called The Apprentice? Remember when they made that asshole an authority on The Apprentice? You don't get it. You're a joke, lady. Again, you guys.
Zach versus Karen. Zach versus Karen right there, hilarious. Dumb Trumper bitch.
No, yeah, no. He's gonna lose.
We're on the final 10 minutes, Zach. Go wild, bro.
Okay, I want everybody to think about this. Why did Thomas Jefferson, a founder, say that every 19 years we need a revolution? Why 19 years? Why not 20? 19 is very specific. Why did Thomas Jefferson say every 19 years we need a revolution if we want to be a free people? By the way, it's been a lot longer than 19 years since we had a revolution, and we are a very not free people. Recently, we weren't even free to go outside without a muzzle over our face or some kind of experimental jab in our arm. That's not free. That's the furthest thing from free. I can't even do anything without having to pay a tax to government. That's not free. So why did he say we need a revolution every 19 years to stay free? The moon, very important object in the sky. It's on a 19-year cycle, if you didn't know that. Look it up. That's why every Hebrew calendar, every 19 years, the holidays fall on the same day. They're synced up with the moon. Oldest existing calendar in the world, the Hebrew calendar, in tune with the moon. We used to be on a lunar calendar before the Catholic Church sun cult took over. But anyway, every 19 years, I want you guys to think about this in America. In 2020, we have COVID-19. 19 years before that, tell me how many hijackers there were on 9/11. Anyone remember? How many hijackers on 9/11? You know, they couldn't find the planes or bodies or anything, but they found 19 terrorist passports in the rubble. Go figure.
Paper passport.
War on germs, 2020. 19 years earlier, war on terror. 19 years before that, the war on drugs, and they hit LA the hardest. They funneled crack cocaine in like nothing to darker complected communities, put darker complected people in cells, and made them slave labor for corporations. 19 years. That was 1982. How about 19 years before that? What happened? Was it the war on courage by blowing off JFK's head, who tried to take on the Federal Reserve? Oh man, the president can't even go against the money changers. I better not speak out either. My parents were 10 years old. They learned to just tuck their heads like turtles, and so did most of America. That's why a lot of you guys, I might resonate with some of you, but you're not going to say anything because you don't want to stand out. You might think there's like I know you guys are paranoid, that there's cameras, surveillance, people watching, you might lose your job, your social status. You guys, we got to stop being so afraid. We got to stand up. Again, where's Bob Marley at? Why all our young legends die so young? Come on, man. All these young celebrities that die from cancer. I live in Seattle. People have $1 million flying all the time to Seattle to get cutting edge cancer treatment. They're in and out of the hospital in a week, and they're living on. But all these multi-millionaire Hollywood stars just keep dying from cancer. You guys pay attention to what's going on in this nation. We're being lied to. We're ruled over by very sick people, tyrants. They're murderers, killers, liars, propagandists, warmongers. I think a lot of us know that, but we just march on anyway. We've convinced ourselves that we don't have any power. All we can do is worry about ourselves, our own family, our own status. You guys, we gotta start working together. There's a lot of us. All these people on this pier right now, if we all work together, we can take down the corrupt government that rules over this state. I was in San Francisco, so many taxes. Where's the money really go? Potholes, old infrastructure. Where's the money going? Imagine if you could just keep it yourself. How much further would you be ahead if you didn't have to pay it to Gavin Newsom and his cronies? We need to stand up for our rights. We got to stop paying so much in taxes so that they can send it off to Ukraine. Create another war we don't need. What did the war on terror really do? We killed all the Taliban in Afghanistan, started an opioid crisis worldwide. A lot of young people, they know they did the wrong thing over in Afghanistan and Iraq because they were following orders. They know they murdered innocent people. Now their heads are messed up. Now they're homeless on the streets of our cities, dying from overdoses. This is what's going on in America. We're about to bounce, you guys, but I want everybody to look up April 4th, 1967, 1 year to the day of MLK's assassination. He gave a speech that our history bucks forgot. April 4th, 1967, Martin Luther King Jr. spoke out against the militarism that was taking place in this nation in a speech called Beyond Vietnam, A Time to Break Silence. He spoke clearly about how we're fighting unnecessary wars that are killing the minds and hearts of our young men, and they come back here with all this hatred and cruelty, and they bring it into our society, and they take it out on their families, and they end up homeless on the street, and it pulls society down. One of the best speeches I've ever heard, and it's not in our history books. I used to be a school teacher and I taught 5th grade. I got in trouble for teaching my students about MLK's speech a year to the day of his assassination. My principal told me, just stick to I Have a Dream. I Have a Dream is great, but MLK's speech a year to the day of his death is really what's going on in this nation. And here's one more thing about MLK people don't realize. He assumed the name Martin Luther after the Protestant Reformation leader who became a priest in history on April 4th. He wrote the 95 Theses, and MLK was killed on the 95th day of the year, 3 days before the Club of Rome was established by the Rockefellers. Again, the Jesuits served the Roman Catholic Church. All roads lead to Rome. Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Again, you guys, look into the Jesuits, the 16th century, the warnings, how many of them run our government, and then things will start to make a lot more sense. Thank you to everyone who listened and had a question today. If you want to join us tonight, we'll be down by Jimmy Kimmel, letting him know what a piece of shit he is. Fuck Jimmy Kimmel. Propagandists, sell out to humanity. Endless DK, you want to say something?
As soon as my throat gets operational.
You made it here just in time.
I was so
The one of them's a pretty nasty. Yeah, fuck Jimmy Kimmel.
I don't want to go down the road rage. You know?
Great to see you again.
What's up, man? How are you?
Dude, I'm getting out of here,
Hell
man.
yeah.
It's good seeing you.
You weren't around yet.
No, I wanted you to at least subscribe. I'm going to try to go to the station tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm going to the book festival. I'm finding something in there. Will do.
I'll be at the stadium all day tomorrow. Driving about 50%.
Yeah. You can wait for the line. Like that's
Yeah, thanks for coming out here.
Travel safe, my friend. You got any? Oh, you're eating. I was going to ask if you had anything to say.
As soon as I get my voice back, I mean, as soon as I get my throat lubricated.
Got it.
I was like, plus I was should have brought electric scooter, but I brought this one because I was in another car and I was like, I don't know if that one's gonna fit. I don't want to carry it downstairs if it's not gonna fit. Carry it back up and then take the other one.
I see that one floats up too. Weird synchronicity, man.
I kept saying, hey, it's our place to support Bob Marley. But I told him, like, get up, stand up. What's up, man?
Also the Four Non Blonde song. That was
Oh, yeah, what's going on? When they play that? I didn't hear it. No, I'm saying sure.
More truth seekers showing up. Sorry.
No, it's crazy. The connection between Christianity and being like, they thought he was Cyrus.
Listen to how dumb she was. I'm a Christian. I like Trump. It's like, you're psychotic. Trump's not Christian, you idiot. But where's Jesus promote ego
in
and
the interview where he doesn't know anything about the Bible. He's like, oh, I like the Old Testament and the New Testament. I like all parts.
Did you guys show her the photo of him at the wall in freaking Israel?
Good to see you again.
He's never even been.
I mean, they signed on that dotted line.
You put him on the shekel for Hegelian dialectic, you know?
Yeah, you're right. So, you know,
Gonna peep this weird vehicle.
They put the hand on his shoulder. The pastor, Christian pastor is praying.
It's crazy. Oh, sure. Right? But once you started there,
I don't know why people can't see the obvious.
Yeah, I was really dumbfounded. Yeah, I think probably the Freemason down here.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty mean. Yeah, Trump is a Freemason.
You earned 47 during this stream.
What's that?
But
yeah, $46.99 is for 47. Shout out to everybody who donated. $47. We're talking about over here. We're having a conversation about Kanye. He's going to turn 47 the year of the election in 2024. You got Trump's new thing, Agenda 47. You know how it is, you guys. What is it? Oh, somebody clipped that. It wasn't that good though, because she couldn't even talk. Those Trump people, man, they're all the same. They start having a. She's like my sister. That's how my sister is when I try to talk to her. Just like that. Can't even. Exactly. That's why, like, seriously, shout out to all the good women, but women like her and my sister just remind me, like, why once upon a time women couldn't vote. Like, I don't think a woman like that should be allowed to vote. She doesn't even fucking listen. Somebody might be like, well, there's men like that. That's probably also true. And remember, voting's all rigged anyway. And I think when you go back to tribes and you find out who the leader is, who's actually looking out for the people around them, that's the leader.
I couldn't even go. I had 3 pages. I couldn't go live.
Thank you to everyone who hit the like, you guys. We're almost at 300 likes. Not bad. Good news is we had probably hit the eardrums of. How many people's eardrums do you think we hit today? 3,000? More than that?
Say it again? I'm sorry.
I wonder how many people walked by in the time we were here that heard us.
And there's some Christian. Yeah, it is. LA is definitely for sure. At least Christian base for sure. So
Maybe it's a lot. A lot of people come through here.
How many people can a stadium fit? Like 13,000. So you got at least like 10,000 people walking by you yesterday.
It's going to be better in Hollywood?
Yeah, Hollywood will be most packed, but not right away. Like as the sun is going down.
Christians think the Trump is the savior. I mean, God's anointed savior.
Pretty insane.
Did you want to say anything on the mic? Or you can save it for Hollywood if you want.
Yeah, give me a minute. Are you about to pack up right now?
We got to get. A lot of us have to get back to our cars because we are parking.
Oh really? What? 6 p.m.?
Yeah, I got to be back before 6.
Oh shit. Okay.
Again, what time is it again? I got to walk a little ways. What time is it again? 5:31. Yeah, we probably should start heading back.
Did you park where I told you?
I parked in the garage.
That's the opposite end.
Yeah, because when I got to 3rd Street Promenade, there was music everywhere and there wasn't that many people. And I saw this when I drove by. I was like, this is way better.
Okay. Yeah, now in retrospect, you should have parked on this side.
It's okay.
It's all the way at the top.
It's okay. I like my exercise. I don't walk enough.
But where did you parked in that garage?
Yeah, but I'm in a 3-hour parking lot, so I have to be out. The sign said 3 hours max. So.
No.
That's what it said on the sign right when I pulled into it. 3-hour max.
The one where it's like a really tight turn to get in?
I had to do it. Maybe it's on second.
On second, yeah.
I think I had to turn off Wilshire into second, and then I had to do like a quick U-turn to get in there.
Yes, that's the exact one I'm talking about.
Cop was screaming at me because he said he didn't want me to do the U-turn. I was like, fuck it, dude, just let me go in the garage.
And then you go up a tiny little hill, pull a ticket, and make a sharp right turn?
Exactly.
Okay.
And the signs all in there say 3-hour max. What? Might be a newer thing for 3rd Street. 3 hours, getting symbolic.
Never saw that before.
Yeah, they were up, so that's what I was
Maybe
like.
it's only certain levels because the one I know, we go there past 2 in the morning. That's weird. Okay.
All right, people in the chat, we're going to wrap this up pretty soon because we got to get back to our vehicles, but we're going to head over to Hollywood. Hollywood's a bit of a drive with traffic, so anticipate the next stream. Hour to hour and a half, somewhere in there, assuming everything goes to plan. But we plan to stay out in Hollywood for a long time, so it'll probably end up being our longest stream of the day. I got to do a little more voice These lozenges have been money in the bank, but I've been eating them like candy to stay up. So gonna go do some voice treatment, and then we're gonna hit Hollywood. Where do you think we should go in Hollywood? Man's Chinese Theater?
We could start there.
Isn't that where Jimmy Kimmel is?
Yeah. It's like a block away across.
That's who I want. I want that fucker more than anybody.
I have a question.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you guys California residents?
I'm not. I'm from Washington.
Trying to get signatures? For what?
For rent cap bill. So the California like lower the rent and less homeless.
That's a good one, and you get paid for that too, right?
Yes.
For the signature, so it helps her out. Good cause. I would sign it, but I'm really not from California.
Do you know anybody that is from California?
Most people here are.
Hey, you guys, if you're a California resident, she's trying to get signatures. It helps her out, and it's to help lower rents. It's a petition for the government to stop raising rent so high. So if you guys are about that, she could use some signatures. Anybody want to close this stream out? Anybody got to close a message for this stream?
I'm trying to remember everything you said. So
Well, again, for the people in the chat, a good group of people out here. I do wish more of us were out here, but I think tomorrow's going to be the best day of the weekend. I know people are working. And again, we are going out big in Hollywood tonight. We'll be at the stadium all day tomorrow. Actually, what I'm first gonna do is everyone's telling me I gotta go to this USC book fair in the morning. So I'm gonna try that out. Get up early for that, and then the stadium all day. And then tomorrow night I gotta start making the trek back home. So.
Should I give them a tour of the pier to end the stream? You guys can all stay here.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Here,
gone down this pier?
DK wants to give you a tour of the pier.
While you pack up, you don't.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Here we go, Santa Monica Pier. What was that TV show called? Ion LA? I'm gonna have to adjust the camera right now. We just spent
I think there's like you walk across there.
All right, let me see how this works. Old school arcade.
Yeah, they're all the way at the end.
See if somebody's gonna swing right now.
Yeah. It's really solid.
Roller coaster on the pier. There's the famous Ferris wheel you guys see in all the pictures. We'll walk down to the end first, and then on the way back, we'll go through there. It's like a little shrunken down Disneyland. See, look at these guys are doing an act. They got hundreds of people around them. We got people just passing by. People want to be entertained. guy's about to jump over a bunch of dudes.
Everybody clap! Everybody clap!
Went off sideways a little bit. I'm just walking right down the middle, forcing everybody to go around me. So. Like to fish, a little fishing platform right there. Walk around all the way around the outside edge. Fitness girls getting photos of themselves. I can't read anything on the chat. It's way too bright out here. Plus, I got the selfie stick a little bit extended, so chat amongst yourselves. As soon as the stream's over, what you said will be gone anyway. So enjoy it while it lasts. Looks like the Dalai Lama here is selling stuff. Dalai Lama's got to pay the rent. Expensive out here.
and the crew.
It's showtime.
What's this guy gonna do?
All right, showtime coming out, guys. Here we go. Alright, Santa Monica, everything's working perfect. Showtime coming up in about 1 minute. 1 minute showtime, guys. Here we go.
I can tell.
Porque a lo mejor quieren más feria y
Bubba Gumps. They got the same fucking shit everywhere, man. Go to Hawaii, you can eat at Bubba Gump. Go to freaking New Orleans, you can eat at Bubba Gump. Just making the whole world the same. Back with the truth seekers over here. How was the tour? I don't know. I can't read the chat. It's right out here. But I gave them a little bird's eye view. Sure. You haven't been down this, huh? Obviously. They got about 150 street people around the street performers. We're out here on the street. They kind of just walk by. Down in the middle over there, probably.
Not entertained.
Yeah, guys jumping over each other.
Yeah, people want to be entertained, man. Not think about things. Give me the Cheetos.
I didn't want to hang the camera too far over. I'm like, what if the camera flew off in the water? That would be the end of the trip. All right, DK closes out like a pro as always. And looks like I owe DK dinner because the super chats went up 20 bucks. All right, you guys got dinner for DK. All right, we'll leave it there, True Seeker. See you in Hollywood. Again, give us about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer, but it's coming. And we'll be out there for a while. Jimmy Kimmel's gonna get it. Anybody else want to say anything before we go? But we got the Truth Crew out here. The Truth Crew is out here. Had some good interactions again. We're planting seeds. I wish there were more, but hey, we're making little dents.
Gematria's about to go Hollywood.
That's true. Gematria is about to go Hollywood. We'll see if it makes the difference. Maybe Jimmy Kimmel will have a new skit for us within a week. Until next time.